Hey, so I want to talk about why this situation with JustBrittany and lovely MiMi reminds me of Jordyn Woods versus Khloe Kardashian. Now, if you're not aware, JustBrittany and lovely MiMi are or were on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And lovely MiMi is an Asian woman that owns a nail shop in Atlanta, and she's been married to a black man for I think 9 or 10 years. And lovely MiMi has been the subject of a lot of controversy because she uses the N word, okay, and apparently her husband is fine with that. And also, she's been called out along with other non-black women who are in relationships or marriages with black men for not speaking out on certain issues related to social justice for black women and black people in general. Now, if you guys saw the videos I made about the situation with Jordyn Woods and Khloe Kardashian, I told y'all that one of the reasons that Khloe Kardashian was so in her feelings is because she could not believe that her baby daddy made a move on a woman who is part black. And I told y'all that Khloe would have been even more furious if Jordyn had been a brown or dark-skinned black woman, okay? So just keep that in mind for a second. Now, before I get into my commentary on lovely MiMi and JustBrittany, I want to make sure that we all understand. I do not condone any woman sleeping with a man who is married or who is living with a woman. I just don't think it's a good thing to do. And there are certain things that you do in life where it's going to come back on you and you never know how it's going to come back on you. And also, I really am sick of seeing these situations where black women have no problem being a side piece, especially being the side piece to one of these black dudes who has opted to marry and have children with a woman that's not black. Because what that looks like is, okay, this is a guy who only feels like black women are good enough to sleep with, but when he wants to get married and establish a family and a legacy, he goes outside of the race. And so as black women, we gotta start requiring more. And one thing that I've noticed as a black woman who is BWE and divested is that people expect us to have one set of rules and standards for non-black men and then virtually no standards at all for black men. Okay? And I'm saying this as a woman who's married to a black man, that I observe that double standard. Because black women who are in relationships with black men are often made to feel like there's something wrong with us for requiring marriage and really requiring a man to value us enough to give us the things that come with a traditional relationship or a traditional marriage. But then you're expected to have this laundry list of standards when it comes to other races of men. And the reality, black women, is you should have standards for men, period, regardless of that man's skin color. And so we should not encourage this environment of side chickery and all of that stuff, okay? There's another side here, though. Here's the thing. I think that for a lot of these women who are in relationships with black men, part of their self-esteem is driven by the fact that black men spend so much time putting other groups of women on a pedestal. And they do it so much publicly that I have a hard time believing that they don't also do it privately. So a lot of these men, when they are in relationships with other races of women, they make it clear that they are with those women because, whatever reason they have, they'll say they're not attracted to black women, or they'll say that there are certain characteristics about black women that they don't like. And so I think for those other races of women, they really believe that they're with a black man who would never cheat on them with a black woman, who would never be attracted to a black woman, okay? So when they realize that, oh, he married you, but he still likes that melanin, okay? Whether it's chocolate, dark chocolate, caramel, peaches and cream, he still likes that melanin infused woman. And if he gets the chance to, he's going to act out on those desires. And so what happens is, for those women, and this is my opinion based on my own observations, but what happens is with those women, when they find out that their husband is a cheater, not only are they dealing with the fact that they've been lied to and they've been cheated on, but they have that extra ego bruise of, wait a minute, he cheated on me with a black woman. And they get offended by that shit. And I'm going to tell you my problem with lovely MiMi. Because I don't have a problem with a woman dragging a woman that slept with her husband, especially because apparently her and JustBrittany were cool. But my problem with lovely MiMi is that she feels like she can use black women to be her attack dogs against another black woman. That's my problem. And I feel like we as black women, we have to have some sort of a code, right? Where if a black woman steps out of line and does something egregious, then yeah, we'll know amongst us, amongst ourselves, that, okay, that's a woman who can't be trusted. This is a woman we really have to deal with caution, or not deal with her at all. And this is a woman that we absolutely will not defend because her behavior is below quality black womanhood. And we can do that without allowing ourselves to be used to attack that black woman on behalf of a woman of a different race. Because I don't care what anybody says. If old boy had cheated on that MiMi chick with a woman that was Asian or white or Hispanic, she would not use her black women social media following to attack those women, okay? Because she would know that those women are part of a group that would call her out for that. So I think as black women, we have to really, really understand that these other groups of women, they might be cool, they might be friends with you or whatever. But on some level, part of their friendship with you is based on their belief that at the end of the day, a man would choose them over you. If you don't believe it, see what happens if you have a friend who is a woman of another race, and y'all are cool enough to like go out to lunch or go out to dinner, go to happy hour. See what happens if every time y'all go out, the men are paying for your food and sending you free drinks and not sending her a thing. Watch her reaction and see if she continues to like you enough to want to spend time with you in a situation where she can't feel like she's the head bitch in the room. All right? So I just wanted to weigh in on this. But yes, I think that Jordyn Woods versus Khloe Kardashian is kind of my blueprint for how I feel in these situations. So again, it's never right as a woman to cross that line and sleep with somebody else's man or even touch somebody else's man. It's just not right. Okay? And a lot of y'all are going to be dealing with a lot of shit in your older years because you were crossing the line and hopping into the devil's playground while you were young. The second thing is, as Black women, we can acknowledge that. We can decide amongst ourselves that there are certain women that we either don't deal with or we deal with caution. But that doesn't mean that we allow a woman outside of our group to use us to attack another Black woman. So let me know what you think in the comment section. I will talk to you all very soon. Have a good weekend.